Hello, glow-in-the-dark animals, lanternfish. This is an informational text by Sara Howell, published by Power Kids. There's our table of contents. Life as a lanternfish. Did you know that about 70% of our planet is covered by water? Most of this water can be found in Earth's oceans. In many places, the ocean is thousands of feet deep. Very little sunlight is able to reach below 656 feet. Lanternfish are one kind of fish that can live in the deeper, darker parts of oceans. There are about 240 species or kinds of lanternfish. These small fish get their name from their ability to make light with their body. That ability certainly comes in handy in the dark ocean depths. And this says, lanternfish are one of the most common fish in the world's oceans. Here we go. Newsflash. Oceans are commonly split into areas called zones. The highest zone is called the sunlight zone. The middle zone is called the twilight zone because it gets only a little light. The deepest and darkest zone is called the midnight zone. Down in the depths. Lanternfish live in oceans all around the world. Many stay in waters close to the coast, near an area called the continental slope. This is the steep slope between the continental shelf and the deep, open ocean. Lanternfish need to make their own light to survive in the deep, dark parts of the ocean. Most lanternfish spend the daytime hours in deep waters up to 3,280 feet below the ocean surface. However, at night they move closer to the surface. They stay just 30 to 330 feet underwater after the sun sets. Newsflash. The continental shelf is the area of a continent or large mass of land that goes into the ocean. The water there isn't as deep as it is in the open ocean. A closer look. Lanternfish are small, thin fish. Some species can grow to about 12 inches long. Most are between 1 and 6 inches long, though. Species that live in deeper parts of the ocean are often brown or black. Others that live closer to the water's surface can be green, blue, or silver. Most lanternfish have an organ called a gas bladder. The gas bladder helps the lanternfish stay at a certain depth without using a lot of energy. Lanternfish are known for their large eyes and mouth. They have large eyes and mouth. Newsflash. A gas bladder is sometimes called a swim bladder. If a fish wants to go up, it fills the bladder with air. If it wants to go down, it lets the air out of the bladder. Lights in the water. Lanternfish make light through a chemical reaction that takes place in their bodies. This is called bioluminescence. The light that lanternfish produces can be either yellow, blue, or green. Different species glow in different colors. Males and females of the same species can also create different colors of light and flash their light at different speeds. A lanternfish light comes from special organs called photophores. They're found in rows on the lanternfish's body and head. In many species of lanternfish, the photophores are near their tail fin or close to their eyes. Scientists can tell one species of lanternfish from another by looking at the placement of photophores on the fish's body. Here's a news flash. Lanternfish also commonly have photophores on their belly. Schools and sonar. There's a man with sonar. There's a big school of fish. Lanternfish live in large groups called schools. They use their flashes of light to communicate with each other and keep the school together. Different species of lanternfish often live at different ocean depths. Scientists believe this is so they don't have to compete with each other for food. Schools of lanternfish are so large they're often detected by sonar. Sonar is a tool that uses underwater sound waves to find objects. The sound waves bounce off the large schools of lanternfish. In the past, this made scientists think schools of fish were the ocean floor. Sonar is an important tool for scientists and navies around the world. So that's sonar. There's the school of fish. Here's a news flash. The layer of fish scientists once thought was the ocean floor is sometimes called the false bottom or deep scattering layer. See all those little fish? When they're all together, make a big group. On the move for a meal. Scientists discovered the false bottom because the layer they thought was the ocean floor kept moving up and down. This happened because lanternfish move between deep and shallow waters to find food. Lanternfish are predators that follow their prey as it moves up and down in the depths of the ocean. Zooplankton like this one could be food for lanternfish. That's a zooplankton. Some species of lanternfish use their flashing lights to attract prey. Lanternfish feed mostly on creatures called zooplankton. These are tiny animals that float freely in water. Many are smaller than the head of a pin. Newsflash. Moving up and down, as lanternfish do in the ocean, is called moving vertically. The way lanternfish follow their prey from deep to shallow waters is called diel, vertical migration. Diel, vertical migration. Avoiding predators. Lanternfish also move between deep and shallow waters to avoid predators. Lanternfish are an important part of many ocean food chains. They're food for whales, sharks, dolphins, and squid. They're also eaten by other fish such as tuna and birds such as penguins. Lanternfish's ability to produce light also helps protect them from predators. They're able to control the amount of light they produce to match the light around them. Predators then have trouble seeing the lanternfish. This is known as counter-illumination. Many animals that live in deep ocean waters, including the scaly dragonfish and some species of squid, use counter-illumination to protect themselves too. Newsflash. Counter-illumination helps bioluminescent animals protect themselves from predators who hunt by looking up to find prey above them. Lanternfish babies. Lanternfish babies. Because lanternfish's flashes of light differ between species and between males and females, it's likely they use their glowing ability to attract a mate. When it's time to spawn, a female lanternfish will release her eggs into the water. She can release between 100 and 2,000 eggs at a time. Baby lanternfish, called larvae, are left to survive on their own after coming out of the eggs. Lanternfish have light organs from the time they're larvae. This means even baby lanternfish are bioluminescent. Corals are other animals that spawn. Like lanternfish, corals can glow in the dark. Those are corals. Newsflash. Lanternfish larvae make up nearly half of all fish larvae in the world's oceans. Healthy oceans, healthy fish. Lanternfish are some of the most common fish in the world's oceans. This doesn't mean they're safe from danger, though. Lanternfish often come into contact with pollution, such as garbage floating in the ocean. Scientists have found tiny bits of plastic in the stomachs of some lanternfish. This plastic is harmful to lanternfish as well as the animals that eat them. Keeping oceans clean is an important way to keep lanternfish healthy. Healthy lanternfish play a part in keeping oceans healthy because they're part of so many ocean food chains. People can help protect lanternfish by cleaning up garbage they find on the beach. This can stop plastic from getting into the ocean. And then they're cleaning up the trash. There's a news flash. Scientists are still learning new things about lanternfish all the time. They study the times these fish use their ability to glow in order to find out more about how lanternfish communicate. And there's some fun lanternfish facts, which we will read, the glossary and the index. So here's some facts. Number 1, lanternfish have large eyes to help them see more light in dark water. Number 2, one species of lanternfish doesn't have photophores and isn't able to produce light. Number 3, the chemical reaction that produces light in a lanternfish's photophores is the same reaction that makes a firefly glow. Lanternfish produce cold light, which means they produce light without also producing heat. 5, Hector's lanternfish are caught by fishermen in waters off South Africa. They're used to make fish oil and fish meal with it, which is used to feed other animals. 6, lanternfish make up about 65% of the fish in the deep sea. There's a picture of them. Hope you enjoyed that. Bye.